Welcome back guys to another F1 2021 video. Before we begin, please hit the like button if you do enjoy these videos. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you are already subscribed, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I do appreciate that as well. Now we're heading off to the facility. We had a mechanical failure in the last race in Canada, which is a track that I have been pretty good at over the last couple of seasons, but we haven't had many good results. We had one win last season, but we've had 2 mechanical failures in 3 years there at Canada, so a bit of bad luck there for us. But that's alright. Moving forward to the next race, getting ready for the French Grand Prix. Changing some more parts. So the turbocharger, which had only done 90 laps compared to our first one, which did like 200 and something, that failed. So we're going to be taking another grid penalty in this race, taking some grid penalties early on so that we don't have to take them later in the season. We have finished all the upgrades for aerodynamics, so now all we can do is do some durability upgrades until we can get Spec 3 for the other departments. Probably going to go with chassis when we can next, but we do also have to save up our money to pay for Michael Schumacher to stay in the team. I have been weighing up the idea of maybe letting him go for the second half of the season and getting another driver, so I've got some more money to get the Spec 3 upgrades. But at the same time, like, he's actually doing relatively well, and I think that maybe if we can keep him in the team and we can get up to 3rd place in the constructors, that might actually help us, and then maybe we look at going for it all in season 4. But we'll just wait and see. Qualifying here in France, this is a track that I'm pretty familiar with. I do enjoy it. I think it's a good track for me. I think it's a good player track, like not so much a good AI track. But it is, some of the lines are a bit hard to judge, but I think we did pretty well in practice as we make it down to the start finish line here in qualifying. We're currently sitting P2, well now P3, now we go P1.
That was the fastest lap.
So we managed to pull out a fastest lap on lap 5, and here we are again watching the other drivers to see what times they get. We're currently sitting P1, and then Hamilton, last lap of his qualifying session, pulls out a 1:30.90, so 700ths faster than us. So not as bad as Canada, where we dropped all the way down to last. We were all qualifying on dry tyres. But yeah, so we dropped down to P2. We are taking a grid penalty, so we will be starting back in P12 alongside Schumacher, who will be starting P11. So we are both going to be sitting as a team, sitting I guess I can't remember the words. But anyway, it's going to be good for us. Let's see how we do in the race.
Welcome along then to France, host of the world famous Tour de France. But we're not talking 2 wheels today, we're talking 4, in a country widely thought of as giving birth to the art of motor racing back in the late 1800s. We've come a long way since then, and you're about to find out how far. It's time for the French Grand Prix. 6 lefts and 9 rights give us a total of 15 corners here at the Circuit Paul Ricard, and a lap covers an overall distance of 3.6 miles. Average speeds will be somewhere in the region of 142 miles per hour, and they'll be maxing out on the Mistral Straight at around 205 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Sergio Perez and Ricciardo, Russell, Norris, Sainz and Pierre Gasly. Michael Schumacher, the captain. They've taken a grid penalty.
So there we are, guys. Cross GT Racing sitting 11th and 12th. Strategic pole position. That's what I was trying to think of before. We're going to be doing a 2-stop. Just 3 laps on the softs, on some slightly worn softs, 2 stints on the mediums. We'll see how we go through the race. if we can manage some tyre wear, maybe stretch those stints out a little, well, the second stint a little bit longer. We'll just have to wait and see as we're lined up alongside our teammate. 5 red lights here in France, and we are off and away for the French Grand Prix, coming off two retirements. We really need a good result here, as we already have contact with Ocon. A yellow flag there, and the back half of the grid has slowed down, as we can see on the mini map. I don't have a replay for it, but what actually happened is I had that contact with Ocon as we go right around the outside of, I don't know how many cars that was. I have to go back and take a look at that one again, as we're trying to catch up to Ricciardo. Can we get a pass on him? No, we can't. We'll settle into our line here. We'll take a look at that. So we're right behind Schumacher here. We go around the outside of 1, 2, 3 cars there. So we get around Schumacher. I think it was Gasly in the AlphaTauri and Sainz in the Ferrari. What a move there that was. But going back to that issue with the caution earlier, what actually happened is Sainz just breezes past us and takes that position back. I had the contact with Ocon and slowed down a little bit, and then it was a Tsunoda that tried to come up the inside of me heading through turn 1, and we just caught wheels. His front wheel locked into my back wheel, and it actually sent him into a spin, which has caused that little bit of a gap in the pack, although they have started to catch up now as everyone's settling into their racing line. Final corner, heading up to the start finish line. Charles Leclerc leading the French Grand Prix. We are sitting P10. We've managed to jump up 2 positions. Schumacher sitting back in 12th, but he's only about 3 tenths behind Gasly on the mediums. So it looks like the top 10 at this point are all sitting on softs. No change in the top 10.
In this lap, push now.
So the rest of the grid is probably sitting on mediums, doing a longer first stint as we get ourselves a track limit warning.
0.5 per lap.
So lap 3 already have 1 warning, pushing the car pretty hard and trying to get the most out of the track. Probably not the best thing for us to do here. We really need a good result here. After 2 retirements and 2 races, we've dropped a lot of points that are in tracks that we should have gained at least some points in. But that's okay. So we didn't pit last lap. We made some pretty good time.
Noticing a bit of grip loss in the tyres around now, so just be careful.
Yeah, so we made up some pretty good time in the last lap. So I thought, well, we could probably push for another lap as we clip tyres with Sainz there. It doesn't look like it slowed us down. It doesn't look like it slowed him down at all, because here he comes, takes that position straight back. We're still sitting P10. But yeah, we made up some time in the last lap, so I thought we could probably push for 1 more lap on these softs and see if we can get some positions. And we did get that position on Sainz, but it was messy and we ended up having to give it back. Well, we didn't have to give it back, but he took it back from us. So we haven't really gained much out of this, but we haven't lost anything really, so not bad. As we head into the pit lane and we just slow down the time, using all of that pit lane entry to get as much time as we can into the pits now. 2.1 seconds, that's a pretty good pit stop there from our team. Not exactly known for quick pit stops.
One stop left in our strategy.
As we come out just behind Mazepin in P22, and we are going to take that position straight back, just crossing over to the inside on fresh mediums. And these Haas cars, nothing but cannon fodder for us at the moment. Biding our time, and then around the inside of Schumacher. Easy as you like. There's a couple of positions back. Now we've got to try and make our way up to Zhou. 3.7 seconds up the road. And it does take us a little bit. Wow, took us one lap to catch up to him really. But this is we're definitely on point here at the moment on these medium tyres. Handling really well. As we gain that position there as well. Just easy crossovers, going from the outside to the inside on some of these corners and just switching lines on these guys. And just accelerating that little bit earlier to get around the inside of them. So we're doing pretty well so far. Still a lot of work to do. But some of those front runners, I would assume, would have to be going into the pits soon. All being on softs, unless they've got some pretty good tyre wear upgrades. They couldn't stay out for too long on the softs. Probably doing a 2-stop like myself and heading on to mediums in the next pit stop.
He's just put in the fastest lap of the race.
Okay, so Valtteri's just got the fastest lap. As we go around the outside of Tsunoda and Latifi, and we just duck in behind Giovinazzi. There's 2 positions there heading into the final corner. Alright, we're going to make a move on Giovinazzi here. We've got a couple of cars coming out of the pits. Leclerc and Verstappen coming out. And we managed to pick up another 2 positions there in all that commotion. As we take a look, so Leclerc comes out. He almost clips Lundgaard, which forces him off his line, slows him down, and we just go right around the outside. We take him and Giovinazzi, and we duck in behind 2 of these front runners. And here we go again. Hamilton and Leclerc almost colliding this time. But this time it throws us off our line. Now sitting P11, Perez came out of the pits behind Hamilton, and he's just ducked in behind us, trying to get around the outside there, but he can't quite do it. He's looking to make another move, but he can't get close enough. Now we're being held up by some of these slower cars. Verstappen making a move on Stroll, Hamilton ducking in behind him, Hamilton going almost off the track. We're going to try and line up alongside Leclerc. We gain a position there. Oh, but we brake late and we go wide. Leclerc gets ahead of us. Perez comes up next to us, but we managed to get that position back, luckily. So after all that, no change for us. Still P11. We are starting to make some moves and head up through the ranks. We make a move on Leclerc. Oh, we come right up alongside Stroll. A lot of contact there. No damage to our car. I do not know about his.
We're in 10th position. Stroll is ahead of you. They're on old mediums. Leclerc is behind you. The gap to the leader is 11.8 seconds.
Okay, 11.8 seconds to the leader.
Concerns at the moment. Just focus on the driving.
No damage to the car, which is great. Stroll making a move up the inside there, but can't make it stick. We've managed to catch right up behind Hamilton and Verstappen. Can we make some moves here? Oh no, we have to move off our line. Thought we might get some contact there with Hamilton, and that's caused us to lose a lot of time as Verstappen and Hamilton just go around either side of Schwartzman. And Hamilton ends up getting in front of Verstappen, and we go around the outside of Schwartzman there on that lower speed corner.
Great maneuver. You made it look easy.
Alright, P7, we're going to tuck in here behind Verstappen. See if we can't use him to pull us along. Hamilton has gone on to a set of softs. I've only just noticed Perez as well has also gone on to a set of softs. So these guys running 2 soft compound stints. Then either going on to mediums or hards for their last stint, I would assume. Well, they would have to for the regulations. So we're trying to make a move on Verstappen, but we just can't quite do it, and we go wide. We go very wide. It just causes us to slow down a lot more for that final corner. So we've lost a bit of time, but we still get DRS. Using up all of our ERS as well. Bottas Now the fastest lap at 1:33.7. That's 1.2 seconds faster than our best time. So he is absolutely gunning it right now. And we're going to have to try and reply to that if we want to have any chance of catching up to him.
Green flag.
Right, so there was a yellow flag back in the previous area.
Some information on
So
Tsunoda. They are out of the race.
Yuki Tsunoda is now out of this session. There was a yellow flag back behind us, so if we go back and take a look, it's just a mechanical failure. He just ends up pushing the car around that high speed corner and something's gone. So that's unfortunate for him. He now has to retire from this race. It's going to have no real effect on us, but still you hate to see drivers having to retire from races. As we're trying to make a move on Verstappen, we've got a pretty good line here. We get DRS and we've got ERS going. We breeze past him. 341 k's down this high speed DRS straight. Hard on the brakes. Easy as you like. P6 now. Hamilton 3.5 seconds ahead of us.
Michael in the pits.
And Bottas 6.5 seconds ahead of us as well. Ocon in the pits along with our teammate. So Schumacher was actually sitting in fourth.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
So it looked like Schumacher was actually sitting in third. Of course, this is his first pit stop. I would assume possibly a 2-stop, maybe finishing on some softs, I'm not sure. But we are trying to make tracks on Bottas. We get the fastest lap at 1:33.4. We improve on our previous fastest by almost a second. And all of a sudden, things are starting to look up for us. As we are coming to the end of this stint on these mediums. So we will have to be going into the pits soon to go on to our final set of tyres, onto another set of mediums. These mediums have been going pretty well. I feel like they've been handling a lot better than the softs. So it'll be interesting to see when we go into the mediums what tyres to Mercedes are going to be going on to, as Hamilton is heading to the pits now. He's heading in first. I can only assume Bottas probably heading in on the next lap.
P2. You're up to P2.
So Hamilton's going on to mediums.
This lap, give us the best in lap you can.
Perez is in the pits as well. He's also on mediums. So Bottas will be looking to head on to mediums next as well, I can only assume. Pitting after Hamilton, he won't need tyres to last longer than him. We'll be heading into the pits as well, and we'll be going to another set of mediums as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this race turns out from here, with everyone being on fresh medium tyres. Verstappen still behind us, still in third, but he's 5.8, almost 5.9 seconds behind us. We're gaining a lot of time on him. Bottas into the pits now, and we're following him. He did have a 5-second advantage over us, as we just see him pull into his pit there, going on to medium tyres. We need a quick pit stop here, guys. And we don't really get it. 2.6 seconds, not our best. Not bad, but definitely not what we wanted.
No more scheduled pit stops.
Alright, so now we duck back out into the track in 4th position. Just behind Leclerc, who's managed to fight his way back up into the top. Gasly is behind us in P5. Gasly's been doing really well this season. That AlphaTauri is definitely something to look out for. We go into a spin. We've just come out of the pits onto new mediums, and we've gone into a spin. Oh, another slide. We managed to get control of the car now, but we've now dropped all the way back down into P9. So we'll take a look here, and it looks like we've just gone in too fast, and then we've just hit the throttle too hard and just caused ourselves to go straight into a spin. So we were making gains on Bottas, and now we're all the way back down in P9. We're going to have to We're really going to have to push now if we want to get further up and gain some more points. Just using every ounce of ERS that we have to try and get further up the grid as we get past Perez. You can see Hamilton up ahead of us in P7. We just need to keep pushing and try and get as many positions back as we can. Another track limits warning there. One more time exceeding track limits and we will be dealing with a 3-second penalty, as we've now managed to jump up a couple of positions. Verstappen and Leclerc both going into the pits onto I'm assuming medium compound tyres for their final stints in this race. Ocon up in P4 and Schumacher up in P3. These Alpines are definitely pushing it this year. Alright, we've got a bit of a run here on Hamilton. Can we get him? Going up the outside. Ocon's coming across in front of us. We hit the brake. And we managed to make the move stick on Hamilton. We're up in P5 now. Just sitting behind Ocon and our teammate Schumacher in 3rd place. But Bottas is miles ahead of us. I think it's Gasly up in front of Schumacher. Yep, it's Gasly. We make an amazing move there on Ocon. Lucky not to get a track limits warning there. Suffer a penalty for that move. But we really had no right to make that pass. We managed to get it done. We go around, try to get around the inside of Schumacher there. We do, but it looks like we've cut off our teammate. He won't be very happy with that. But we had a chance to make the move and we made it stick. Eyeing up Gasly now.
But we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
We're using ERS at every point that we can. We're running very low on it. We're almost run out of ERS. We're on the inside of Gasly there. Now we're up into P2. We've fought our way back up from P9 to P2. But Bottas now is running away with this. He is 8.5 seconds clear with 10 laps left in this race. We're going to have to pull out something special if we want to even be able to get close to him. As we go 1:33.1, pulling out fastest laps even at this point in the race. Another 1:33 there. We're really pushing it now. Lap 20, another fastest lap at 1:33.0. ERS at 13%. This car is absolutely screaming. We are pushing it to the absolute limit. Lap 21. And we've managed to gain all this time. We've gone to 1:32.6. 1:32. Using every ounce of track to catch up. We've managed to close the gap to 2 seconds to Bottas now. He was 8.5 seconds ahead. We're now only 2 seconds behind him. We're 12 seconds clear of Hamilton in 3rd. This is essentially a 2-horse race now. We do have 6 laps left.
Space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap.
6 laps left. There's still a long way to go in this race. But we are showing that we have the pace as Bottas gets past Mazepin. I was hoping Mazepin would hold him up just a little bit, but Bottas managed to catch him on that straight and get past him with relative ease. We go past him there, it gives us the space, so he doesn't hold us up. And we're now eyeing up Bottas and 1st place here in France. This is the first time in a while that we've actually been able to maintain him in our sights and not just catch a glimpse of him racing around a corner or heading through a different part of the track. We're now only 4 tenths behind him. We are absolutely pushing this car as hard as we can, and we're now right up behind him. We've managed to gain in the last 7 laps. We've managed to gain 8.5 seconds on him. DRS. We're going to go for the move here on lap 24. He cuts across a little bit to try and push us out. 340 Ks. He comes up alongside. We managed to get the job done. And by the sounds of that crowd reaction, something's happened there. Bottas is now 9 tenths behind us. So I'm not sure what happened there. We'll take a look. As we have a look at this party, that's cut across in front of us a little bit. We managed to stay ahead. Oh, he makes a massive dart right up there. And on the inside, and we do clip. Let's take a look from his perspective. He cuts across the track, and the front wing just catches on the back, my back wheel. It doesn't look like there's any damage to his car, but he did lose a lot of speed there, and he has dropped a second and a half to us. And in the coming laps, he's now almost 6 seconds behind us, so there must be some damage there. So it's a shame that after all that work for us to catch up to him, and then that overtake, it ends with him taking some front wing damage. But we're going to cross the line here in France.
Well done, mate. Team effort. Thanks to all the boys.
P1, first win of the season.
That's the race win.
Our first win in season 3, our first win here in France, and driver of the day as well. What a race.
We've witnessed some great battles around Paul Ricard today, and they've taken a fantastic win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I think the key here was just the quality of the racecraft, you know? I mean, how many overtakes did they make overall? I'm sure we have a stat person keeping score somewhere, and it was fantastic to watch, wasn't it? This is a strategic sport at the end of the day, but it's always really gratifying to see close-fought battles on track. It's what all the fans are after.
A show-stopping performance from the 3 drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure.
So there we have it, guys. We managed to get ourselves our very first win here in season 3. Definitely needed it after retirements at both Canada and Baku in the previous 2 rounds. And we get the fastest lap. That's a huge result for us. Michael Schumacher managed to get all the way up into 6th position, starting in 11th. 8 points for him. 26 points for myself. That's a 34-point haul for Cross GT Racing, which could turn the tides in the Constructors' Championship, at least for the battle for 3rd. As we take a look at the drivers' standings, we jump all the way up into 6th now. We're only 8 points behind Leclerc. We're still miles clear of Bottas, who, with a 2nd place finish today, is still leading this championship, 22 points ahead of his teammate Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen on 91 points, 40 points behind Bottas. So it's a battle of the 2 Mercedes for the Drivers' Championship at this point. And as we take a look at the Constructors, we managed to jump from 6th all the way up into 4th. We're now only 8 points behind McLaren. Last round we were about 40 points behind them. So a huge result for us, turning the tide in this battle for 3rd place. Ferrari and Alpine 63 and 61 points, so there's only 14 points splitting P3 through to P6 in the Constructors. What a championship this could turn out to be heading into the second half of the season. What a race from us. Coming from that spin after coming out of the pits of our 2nd pit stop to being 8 positions and probably over 10 seconds behind Bottas, to come all the way back in what, 11 laps, 12 laps, to end up winning the race by more than 5 seconds. I mean, we did end up having that collision with Bottas after we made the overtake. He was off the track when he tried to make that move. He didn't have any wheels on the track. Well, he had his back wheels on the track, but he did turn off the track to try and get that move. and he didn't have he wasn't close enough to make that move. So I don't feel like that was our fault. It's a shame that it happened, because that could have been a pretty good battle through to the end of the race. But such is racing. You know, we did what we had to do. He tried to make a move that wasn't on, and it cost him the win. But we will take it. We definitely needed it. As we take a look at that spin there, that's where it all started, and that's where the comeback began. And what a comeback it was. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. I would really appreciate it if you left a like. Spam the comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you're thinking about the whole series, and what you think we should be looking at going forward. I'll probably look at upping the difficulty a little bit for the next race. Maybe just a couple of points up in the difficulty meter. Just because this race did feel a little bit easier than the last ones. I think this is a player track though, rather than AI track. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it if you did. And hopefully I'll get to see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.